everyone! Today we're going to be talking about all things related to how much your baby should be eating. Hi guys, it's Renee with New Ways Nutrition. Today we're going to be answering that burning question that so many parents have: how much should their baby really be eating? So we're going to focus this mainly on the babies that are in their first couple of months of eating, just to make it specific and helpful for you guys. So 6 to 7 months, they're learning how to chew, how to eat. You really don't want to be giving them more than 2 to 3 pieces of food or little bits of food. So an example might be a stick of carrots, a thinner slice of avocado, and maybe some lentils. So if you give them 3 to 4 pieces of each, they will be overwhelmed. We don't want that. We want them to be practicing their skills. So 1, maybe 2 pieces, depending on what it is, of each thing. You can always have a plate off to the side. It's what I like to do, of any leftover items from when I was making it, or if you know that they're really gonna love it, you can keep it off to the side, and if they like it that meal, go ahead and give them another piece. Listen to your baby, but when you first make up their plate, don't overwhelm them. Keep it really short, small things. Now, that leads me to the topic of responsive feeding. It has now become a general recommendation from the American Academy of Pediatrics, which is excellent, and it's something that I love to teach parents about. Responsive feeding, it does not matter if you're doing baby-led weaning, traditional weaning, purees, self-feeding, anything that you're doing, you can do responsive feeding. What we're talking about when we say responsive feeding is just a fancy way of saying, listen to your baby. If your baby, when you are feeding them with a spoon, turns their face away, closes their mouth, doesn't want to open it for you, they're telling you that they don't want food, and you should be listening to them. Even if it is 1 bite into the meal, listen to your baby. One of the things that will really help as they grow up is for them to retain their sense of hunger and fullness cues. They're born with those, they have them, they work really well. Our job as parents is not to screw them up. So if your baby is telling you that they don't want something, it's okay to listen. It's okay to say they're just really not in the mood right now. Maybe they'll want it next time. When your baby closes their mouth, turns their head, shakes their head, it doesn't mean that they don't like the food necessarily. It just means that they're done, they're overwhelmed. They just don't feel like it right at that moment. Maybe they really don't like it. That's pretty slim. When they're that age, they usually are willing to try most things. But bottom line, listen to your baby. So that is important when we're talking about portion sizes and how much they should be eating, because it is up to your baby. One baby is going to eat something very different than the next. It could be sibling to sibling, different amounts. Neighbors, every baby is different. Every baby is going to be eating a different amount throughout their entire eating journey, just like all adults eat different amounts, and they need different amounts to satisfy themselves. So listen to your baby. Really, and some pediatricians are on board with this, some are not. Really, unless your baby starts to lose weight, we are not concerned. That is a general statement. So again, consult with your pediatrician, not offering medical advice, but that's a general across the board standard. If they have a period where they're not gaining that much weight, it could just be how they are meant to be. Or maybe there's something else happening that has nothing to do with eating. Maybe they're getting taller. There's all sorts of things that can be happening. Don't be concerned if your baby is not growing at the same fast rate they were at the very beginning of life, or they have 2 weeks, 3 weeks where they haven't grown and they haven't gained much weight at all. Babies have different amounts of weight that they gain throughout different stages. If you are listening to what they say that they want and trusting them, they will be getting what they need unless they have a medical problem. That is our general rule of thumb. So, responsive feeding. Again, I can't underline how important it is. Listen to your baby. If your baby is throwing all their food on the floor, they're done. Try again next time. It's okay. You don't have to force them to eat more food. They'll eat what they need. They know what they need. As hard as it is to understand that they can tell us what they need, it is our job as parents to listen to them and trust them. So it might be slightly different than what most doctors say. But again, research shows, the American Academy of Pediatrics is finally on board with it. Listen to your kid, practice responsive feeding. It's gonna serve you well if you start now and then continue to do it as they get older. So that is our portion size advice for the little ones as they first start, and then we'll address older kids as we keep going. All right, so hope you learned a little bit of something here today, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time.